Have you ever played golf on Royal Portrush? If you have, you'll know that there's a hole on the course called the War Hollow. So called because when they were laying the course, they came across in that area a great quantity of human bones bearing the marks of a battle. They've broken arms, and broken heads, and clearly a great battle was fought there. And the story is that a party of Vikings arrived, led by one called Magnus Barefoot. Magnus Barefoot was raised on the Hebrides and had adopted the custom of the Scottish kilt. And therefore he was called Magnus Barelegs, or barefoot, as the word in Gaelic for foot and leg. The word cos is the same. However, when they arrived and moored their boats or pulled their boats up on the shore at the East Strand, they sent a raiding party out to Dunluce Castle to demand 300 head of cattle. Another raiding party was dispatched to Coleraine to see what they could loot and gather there. And the party from Coleraine came back, we are told, with a bullock's hide full of gold and several skinfuls of wine. And meanwhile, the others arrived. They'd gathered up a couple of cows along the way, but the 300 head of cattle were to follow behind. And they set about roasting the cattle, drinking the wine, and having generally a great party to themselves, a big barbecue on the East Strand. Meanwhile, the O'Flynn's from Dunluce had sent out messages to the other clans to ask their help, and a war party had been gathered. And when the Vikings were least expecting it, and were perhaps rather the worse for wear, the clans attacked. And the battle was fought there. The Vikings, those who didn't manage to retreat in the boats, fared the worse because they were sadly outnumbered, even though Magnus Barefoot was in there fighting bravely because he was said to be a great warrior, and he had a famous sword called the leg biter. But Magnus Barefoot lost his head, and some of the Vikings managed to escape to tell the tale. And the bullock's hide full of gold, that was never recovered. Some say it's still buried in the area. And interestingly, the townland area is called Cloch Or, the stone of the gold. And Kelly's, before it became the complex that it is today, was called Cloch Or House. Maybe the gold's still there, but I don't think it would be advisable to go digging for it on Royal Portrush.